Hello everyone, Tina here. Thanks for joining me for my Happy Day series. Happy Day series is all about using items we have on hand or items we have in our stash. And I brought my glass mat back only because my lighting has been so off lately, and I think it's just because it's not very sunny outside, and so it's hard for me to get really good lighting. So I'm so sorry about that. And I thought it was my glass mat with the glare, but I think it's just my plain old lighting. Today we're going to be using a stamp set from Newton's Nook. It's called Love and Chocolate. I've had this in my stash for a while and it's super cute. I actually made a tutorial using the macaron cookie and I'll link it up above in case you want to check that out. But for today we're going to use the strawberry and the cute little sentiment that says all you need is love and chocolate. We're going to start off by stamping the strawberry. I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black ink. It's a Copic friendly ink, alcohol marker friendly ink, and I'm stamping on some Nina 80-pound cardstock. We're going to stamp 5 times. This one I messed up on. And then I'm going to zoom in and we're going to do a little bit of coloring. Okay, coloring is pretty basic. For the strawberry I'm going to use 2 different shades of red, and I left the caps out for you guys, and I did list the colors I used in the left corner. Sometimes the caps are a little bit hard to read, but I did speed the coloring up just a little bit. I'm only going to color 1 because the rest I did the exact same way, and then this way you can see the coloring. I just turned the camera off and colored in the rest of them. Browns I just used 2 shades, and then for the little strawberry top I used 3 shades of green. And then after I colored in all 4 of my strawberries, I fussy cut them out here. Now the strawberry seeds were on the smaller side, and I did go over them with my Copic marker in a few areas. So I'm just going to bring it back to life with my white gel pen, just going over each one of my little strawberry seeds here. Lovely. Those are done. We'll set those aside, and now we're going to take 2 pieces of white cardstock. I'm going to use a scalloped rectangle die, and I'm going to cut out a panel. And then also I picked a stitched rectangle die that will fit inside of my scallop panel, and we're going to die cut this out as well. I wanted double stitch lines. I think this turned out super cute. It fits right in there beautifully, and you can see both stitch lines on the scallop and then on my panel here. Now we're going to stamp our sentiment. Well, of course, we're going to use all you need is love and chocolate. I love the block font on it, and then the scripty love and chocolate. I think it's so pretty. I'm going to stamp that on the bottom of my regular rectangle panel. Super cute. Now I'm going to take the same red Copic markers that I used to color in my berries, and I'm going to shade in my little hearts. So cute. Okay, we're going to take our strawberries. Originally I was going to use 4 strawberries, but then changed my mind to just use 3. And then I thought we would go ahead and finish off the inside of our card today. But I was doubling them up 2 foam squares per strawberry, and I changed my mind because I like to do a little bit of tucking with them. So I just put 1 foam square behind each one of my strawberries. Now to bring in a little bit of color in my background, I'm going to use some Distress Oxide ink. This is tumbled glass, and I had kitty hairs on my blending tool. I have them towards my window, and the kitties like to sit up in front of the window, and so my blending tools are sitting in their little container, and so most mornings when I come in they'll be knocked over, and so I have cat hair on my blending tools. But anyway, I did a little bit of shading just in a circular area right above the sentiment. Now we're going to go ahead and arrange our little strawberries, kind of doing our little tucking. Lovely. I love that blue against the brown and the red and the green. Okay, we're going to flip both of these over. I had already pre-cut some of my fun foam. I just added double-sided adhesive behind it, and I'm going to place fun foam behind each one of my panels. We'll flip them back around, and I'll take my strawberry panel and place that in the center of my scallop panel. I just think the scallop with the stitch lines just adds daintiness, and I think it looks super cute. So today's card's pretty basic, but I think it turned out so pretty. Okay, I think that's cute. Next, I'm going to take my card base. I need to pre-score some more card bases, so I'm going to do that now. I'll just take my bone folder and score at 5.5 inches, and then fold my card over, and then reinforce my score line with the end of my bone folder. But there's my A2 size card base. I'm going to add a little bit of color to that with some darker red twine. I just wrapped it around twice, and I tied a bow to the left. We'll just trim the tails, and then we're going to go ahead and add our strawberry panel. This is going to go on the center. Then I have to readjust my strings here. They kind of got misshaped. Okay, now we're going to decorate the inside. I found a piece of pattern paper that was almost the same chocolate brown color with white stripes on it. So I cut down a strip of that, and then I'm also going to be using a strip of some blue pattern paper that has a two-tone pattern on it. We're going to add our brown pattern paper directly to the inside of our card base on the bottom. I'll take my glue and we'll add that to the inside of our card base, and then add our blue stripe. I thought we'd bring in a little bit of our blue background from the front on the inside. Okay, we'll take our strawberry, and since I have my glue out, I'll just use my glue to adhere that in the bottom right corner. And then there's some awful cute sentiments in the stamp set, so I chose to add another sentiment on the inside. I chose "You Make Life Sweeter," and I'm stamping that with my VersaFine ink right next to the strawberry. Then I have plenty of room on top for my message. Okay, finishing off the front of the card, I wanted to add one more little heart, and so I found a heart in one of my smaller stamp sets. I think most of the smaller stamp sets will have hearts that are on the tiny side. So I just chose one. I'm going to stamp that with my Memento ink, and I'm going to do the same thing as I did with my hearts near my sentiment with the same red Copic markers, just coloring it in. Lovely. Okay, now I want to doctor up my strawberries. I want to create some white chocolate swirl on them. To do this, I'm using some Nuvo crystal drops. This is simply white. Now I want to give you a little bit of heads up. Is if you hit your red alcohol marker ink or Copic coloring ink, it will bleed into the white. I took a still shot here and wanted to show you how it's bleeding, and it only intensified once my crystal drops dried. So you want to be careful. It didn't affect on the brown Copic coloring, but the red, boy, it just took it super well. So I'd avoid that red area on the berry if you add your vanilla swirl on your strawberries. But I added glossy accents to my little hearts. Those are going to shine up real pretty when they dry. And then finish the inside, and that's my card for today, guys. I encourage you to use what you have on hand or what you have on stash. I thank you so much for joining me, and any links that I can find, I'll try and find. I'll leave them down below for you guys. Have a great day, and we will see you again soon. Bye-bye.